What's going on, guys, and welcome back. It's your boy Eileo, of course, and today we have a very special person's account review. This is Ipker. He's been a good Discord friend for quite a while now, and we are in the same guild, so he's also a guildie here in Kaizen. I definitely hope you guys like the new setup. I'm kind of testing things out, so bear with me here. I know this isn't perfect, but this is all I have to deal with for right now until I get good. But anyways, he's below level 55, so I went ahead and I checked out your mon box, my dude, and it looks like you have a great understanding of the gems. I didn't really see much of a problem here other than your Fire Indra. He is Evo 3, so I'm assuming that you may use him, and he's on a ruin set, which is perfectly fine. But I went over here and I saw that he had a crit rate gem, which is fine, and then he had attack gem, which is fine. And then I looked over here and he has another crit rate gem. He has double crit rate gems and attack gem. I was like, what? And the kicker is that, I mean, you're 1% away from getting max crit on him, but that's the kicker. You have 2 crit rate gems and an attack gem. So if you do use him, because he is at Evo 3, I don't know if you do or not, but if you do use him, definitely change this after you see the video. But I mean, majority of your mons, they're built, I would say, bruiser build type wise, where they're really just either attack, HP, defense, or instead of doing HP attack, you're doing defense attack, which is perfectly fine as well. That means they take less damage. Obviously they have their base HP, but they take less damage, so it's easier for your healers to keep up with. And that's perfectly fine. It seems like your main issues though is just that you don't have enough 5-star and 6-star gems, because I went through your account and there's a lot of mons that you have that have great potential and great slots overall, but their main problem is that they have 4-star, 3-star gems on them. I'm not saying that you need 6-star gems to be OP, but we at least need some 5-star gem action. That at the very minimum. We need at least some 5-star gem action. But I mean, overall, it looks like your team is fairly well balanced. You have different elemental mons raised up, of course. I mean, they're not like super duper like everyone's level 60, but you have plenty of 60s from each element, and I have no complaints about that. None at all, my dude. None at all. If it works, it works. But let's go over here to golems, and we'll take a look at your golems B10 team, because you said that you predominantly just run B8 because your golems B10 team is just not optimal. So let me go ahead and help you pick out a golems B10 team for your account. So maybe this is your B10 team or your B8 team. I'm not really sure, but let's go ahead and fix that. So you have Draka. You can keep Draka there. You have Tina as well. You can feel free to keep Tina. In this case, you really don't need like you don't need a light Odin, you don't need a light Nike, you don't need any light tank whatsoever. All you need is just wave clears and sappers. So Tina and Draka is going to be your wave clearers. I don't know why I was struggling to say that. You do have wet Artemis as well. I believe I saw a wet Miho. Did I see a wet Miho? Actually, you could trade Wet Miho out and have her just go in like that, and then throw in Dark Tina. It doesn't really matter who. But we can run her like that, but you'd also have a Dark Flora, which might be a better choice in general. So you can just run Dark Flora, and actually let me switch those out. So you can run Dark Flora, and let's go ahead and see how this does real quick, because why not? So if I'm assuming this is pretty similar to what I have. I just have 3 sappers, and I use Draka as my wave clearer. You can always run it with 3 sappers as well, but let's go and test this one out real quick. And I do apologize. I am sick. I know it's hard to tell, but I am sick. Alright, let's get this going. Throw it on auto. Now, I think your Draka is built a little bit more defensively, so that could have impact on our farming time. But if that's the case, we can always switch out somebody. Let's just see how Tina does first, though, because you might not even need Draka. You can just run it with Tina. So far, so good. Oh, he resists those. What a piece of crap, man. If they could get some more saps on him, he would have been dead. I promise you that, dude. He would have been dead. So Tina looks like she did honestly just fine by herself. Minute 45, we could definitely get that down better. So let's play again. And I'm going to take out your Draka and we're going to try with your Wet Miho in here as well. And see how they do. Your gem inventory is full. Rest in peace to the squad, man. And you said you're already able to do all the Colossus. Your main problem, once again, is gems. But if you've been predominantly doing B8, then I can definitely tell that. Because, I mean, number one, most of your gems are 4, maybe 5 stars, other than the square slots. So, I mean, that's definitely a big red flag right there. But why are you guys hitting only Dark Tina? What pieces of crap, man. Alright, so those are down. Darn, I thought she would get that full bar off. Bruh, bad RNG, man. But hey, they are dead though. Close, man. You may need your 5 Draka after all, at least for right now. Let's go and target the boss. He's resisting. Okay, they got some saps. Ooh, you see that sap? Now that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't think it was any faster, but perhaps, I mean, yeah, it wasn't any faster, but perhaps you just need to tweak your Tina a little bit, or tweak your Draka depending on what you use your Draka for. And any form of this team should be a very, very solid choice for you. Just make sure your Dark Flores gems, your Artemis, and your Miho, if you're going to use these 3, just make sure their gems are optimal, and try and plus 15 them if you can. And whatever wave clear that you decide to use, whether it's Dark Tina or Draka, just make sure that you get as much damage out of them as possible, and that should be a pretty good team for you. So I think your time should be, I don't know, around 1:30 for Golems B10. And let's also go over here to your PvP team. I am not a PvP expert, so I can definitely tell you that I'm not a PvP expert. But it looks like you're running Dark Miho, Water Shiva, Dark Odin, Light Hana, and then Light Banshee. Could you improve that? Dark Miho, she could be a threat. Light Hana could be annoying. Shiva is a SP Siphoner. Maybe if you had a Mon with Shock, maybe that would be a bigger thing. I know Light Banshee has Shock, I believe, but it really depends on how she's built. Light Shiva. If you had a Mon with Shock, in my opinion, even though I know like Banshee has it, but I think a Mon with Shock that you already have out would be better bait towards other people that might attack you. And what else? Of course, you want to get Shiva to Evo 3 when you can. Dark Odin, depending on how she isn't much of a threat unless you just ignore her. So if I end up fighting you, I would probably gun for Dark Miho or Light Hana first, and then Banshee would come out. You know what? To anybody watching this video, feel free to leave a comment below what you guys think he should use for his PvP team, because again, I'm not an expert. Maybe this is actually optimal. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm wrong here. So to all the PvP experts out there, please leave a comment below stating what he should use, because you guys would know better than me. I'm not perfect at everything, and that is okay. But that's just some of his mons right there that we're going through. At least level 60s and level 50s. Not so much nukers because they're going to die in one turn. So even Light Nike at this point might be a better bait for now. Just really depends on your team. But I think other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I can do for you. Let's take a look at a Golem's B8 team for you as well. And maybe some dragons. And that would be pretty much the end of the review. B8, you can run Draka if you want. Actually, as long as your time is below a minute for B8, I'm not really going to focus on that too much. But for the dragons, you said that you do dragons B10. But if you want like B7 through B9, so for the B7 one, let's say, I can't remember them right off the top of my head in terms of elements, but the wood one at least. Let's do the wood one. You could definitely bring in your Fire Yuki, Wild Fang. If you do need a healer, of course you can bring in Fire Katine. You do have a Draka, which makes that very, very easy. If not, if you get your Indra fix, you could also bring him instead of maybe Wild Fang. And you can use Katine as your healer. You can also use Light Hana. Light Hana actually might be a better choice because of her shield. But that should be pretty much it for the wood dragon. I don't see much of an issue right there. For the water dragon, let's take a look. You don't have that many wood mons. I mean, you do have Jean, John, whatever. Light Hana is always a decent healer to have there. Any other wood mons? I wouldn't bring Garuda. He's a sea striker. You do have Banshee. You could bring Grass Hana instead. And then we need a decent wood nuker. You could bring in Mowgli if you raise your Mowgli up. I mean, you do have options because you have plenty of mons, but you could bring in something like this, and that should work perfectly fine. I would bring a healer just in case, just to see if you can clear it out the first time with no problems. If your DPS is good enough, then you don't need a healer. And then moving on, since we did the wood and water, let's pick out a fire team for you. So for the fire team, of course, you can bring in your Nike. Hopefully you have a mon that can do defense down. Shelly could work just as a defense downer. If not, I believe you do have... Do you have a Thor? I always bring my Dark Thor everywhere that I can. But you already have Water Nike doing the defense down, so might be. You don't even need those two. Then you just pretty much need some hard hitters, my dude. Here, you could also bring in your Fire Indra if you want. If he is fixed with his gems, Fire Indra works perfectly fine because he does have Elemental Edge. Let me look. Yep, he has Elemental Edge, so you could bring him in there. You could bring Dark Mandy if you want. I mean, you can't go wrong there. You can even bring Dark Gatito as a nuker. And again, if you need a healer, you have your Light Hana. You also have your just Water Katine, but really depends if you need a healer or not. I'm trying to think of what other water mons. I mean, you could bring Sura as a CC'er if you need that. but it really depends on how well everyone else does damage wise. But I believe Indra should be perfectly fine with near max crit on a ruin set in terms of damage, especially if Water Nike can do the defense down action on him. So Sur is definitely optional, but some type of healer just to be safe for now. And I mean, you could literally bring in Siegfried, Draka, whoever that you want, just as another wave clearer, and that should be perfectly fine. If you're finding that they're not clearing it out, feel free to bring in one of the Dark Mons just to help nuke at the end after the defense down has been applied, and that should be pretty much it. And if you can do Dragons B10 like you said, then I don't really need to go through a light team, because a light and dark team in my opinion for Dragons are pretty much the same. But that's going to be pretty much it for this account review, Ipker. I mean, there's not much for you to work on. It's really just getting that Golems B10 team down, just so you can pull better gems and use those gems on your mons, because you have a lot of good mons. You have a lot of Sea Strikers. You have your Dark Mons that are built up, which is great. So you have plenty of Dark Nukers and stuff of that nature. But that's pretty much it that I see that you might be struggling with. Let's take a quick look at your storage just in case. Jack, Valkyrie, I mean, you could definitely run her as a defense mon for clan versus clan. Faraday, you do have a wood Zubaji, a wood Garuda. Looks like that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so pretty good potential. Just invest more into your B10 team first so we can get you some better gems. And that's pretty much it. I definitely hope this review helps, my boy. If you got any questions, you know where to find me at. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.